I believe there's a moment in every creative's life where the thing you once loved starts to feel more like a burden. And so for my journey, that's, the world of video and photo and music and eventually design. And I just remember throughout my career, like telling myself, oh, if I just keep showing up, if I just keep making, I keep producing, more output means everyone's going to stay happy, and less output means that I'm a weak link in the chain. I told myself that if I just strapped my boots down and kept going, it would be worth it in the end, but it wasn't. I was running on empty all the time, and even when I tried to refill my cup, I didn't realize there was a crack in the glass, just kind of slowly letting water seep out. See, most of us call this burnout, but I've started to view it a little bit differently. It's not just exhaustion or fatigue. It's a dangerous cycle that if you stay in it for too long, it will make it really difficult to remember what life could actually really look like. And so how do you know you're in a burnout loop? Here are a few signs that I have seen in myself, and hopefully you can relate to them. So one sign is maybe you confuse rest with guilt. You finally slow down for a day, but the whole time you're resting, your mind is racing with everything you're not doing. And then you feel like you're just falling behind. So you jump back into the grind, and then the cycle just keeps going. Another sign that's kind of closely related is that maybe you're actually productive, but you don't feel fulfilled. So you are like checking all the boxes, and you're delivering the projects, and you're, delivering for clients, and you feel like you're killing it, but deep down, something's missing. Maybe you're doing everything right and still wondering why it doesn't feel fulfilling. Another clear sign is that you can't turn your brain off. And so maybe you go to bed thinking about like tomorrow's task. Maybe you're doom scrolling on your phone. And maybe then you wake up feeling already behind. And then the things that used to bring you peace and joy and wonder in life now just feel like obligations. I think this is a clear sign that you've started to live for the output instead of meaning. And so I believe that's when burnout really starts to kind of like anchor itself down into your life. And so if any of this sounds familiar to you, you're probably in something that I call the burnout wheel. Here's what that usually looks like. You're kind of just working until you're exhausted, and then you rest just enough to keep going. And then you start to return to the same patterns that made you tired in the first place, and then it's a cycle. So it just keeps going around and around. The burnout wheel, I think it's not broken by like more motivation or a vacation or a piece of gear or a promotion or pay raise. I believe it's actually broken by rest. So I think to break the cycle, we need to build rhythms of rest. This rhythm is what I call the resting loop. I think it's really simple and could hopefully be easy to implement into your life today. So the first step here is to pause. Create space to take a breath, because if you don't carve it out, you're not going to do it. But I think this is a mandatory step that opens ourselves up to finding renewal. And when you pause, hopefully that makes way for you to reflect. See, I think reflection allows us to ask ourselves the hard questions, like what's actually draining me right now? What matters in life? What are the patterns in my life that I need to change? And hopefully that reflection leads to something I like to call surrender. Because I think if we don't let go of the things that are holding us back in our lives, then we'll just keep carrying it with us. So it's time to let go, surrender. And once you're there, you can receive. See, surrender creates space for us to reconnect with what actually feeds our heart and our soul. For me, that's spending time with God in the silence, writing music, spending time with family and my closest friends. I encourage you to find the places and the people that breathe life back into you. So that's the resting loop. And as you could probably imagine, it's not something that happens once. It's an ongoing, active rhythm that we need to choose to step into all the time. Because if we don't do this, you can't pour out what you haven't received. I think rest isn't what happens when the work is done. It's what makes the work possible. So if you're in that burnout wheel and you feel stuck in it, this is your invitation right now to step out of it. Take a deep breath, let something go, and then receive something good. And then trust that renewal is on its way. If this resonates with you, I made something that I think could help. It's called the Creative Renewal Map. It's a free guide that helps you identify where you are on the creative journey and how to start moving back toward peace. And so you can grab it in the link below, and just know I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm just trying to help you. The last thing I would love to leave you with is just to remember that you don't have to earn rest. All you have to do is just keep returning to that. Thanks for watching.